Halloween, a holiday that pretty much does not really get celebrated here in Germany, at least not in the towns I lived in. Sure, sometimes you see a few kids going around and even have your own doorbell ringed, but if you compare to America, it's not really existent. Unless you go to the store and see tons of candy and sweets on sale, which is neat because sales are good. As a kid, I never understood how good sales are. I just bought stuff even when it wasn't on sale. Nowadays, when you're an adult, you see a good sale and almost start to cry because you can save a whole $2 on your favorite snack. It adds up over time. Learn how to be responsible with your money and show restraint. I know sometimes you want your 6 pack of Pepsi Max, but nowadays it costs like $8, but only $4 when it's on sale. So just wait a week and buy it when it's on sale. Patience is key. Here we also had a TV channel called Super RTL, which showed tons of cartoons, mostly where all the Nickelodeon shows, Disney shows, etc. aired for free TV instead of only having their own pay TV and their own channels like the Disney Channel. That was something only for the cool and rich kids, even though my dad had Premiere for a short while to watch football with, which is Sky nowadays. Remember when you only had to own one of these things to watch sports with it, and nowadays you gotta pay like $60 for 5 different services to watch all the different leagues? We even had the Champions League match on free TV back in the day. Times where people actually watch TV. On Halloween, Super RTL always did their little spooky night where they showed spooky episodes of their cartoons. And I will always remember 2 episodes especially. The SpongeBob episode Graveyard Shift with the hash-slinging Slasher, also called the Hackfleisch-hassende Zahacker.
Der hackfleischende, fleischhackende, hackstockende Zerhackstückler!
Der hackfleischhassende Zahacker.
The ground beef hating shopper. I will forever think that this is the way better name for him. You gotta admit that it sounds cool, right? Like der Hackfleischhassende Zacker. I know that we kinda did bad things with World War II and all that, but enough time has passed being able to admit we got some cool sounding names. And German dubs are actually amazing, but I might be a bit biased. The thing about SpongeBob though is, it's a great show. I remember tons of episodes and not just this one from it, because it's just a show that stays with you. But you wanna know a show that kinda sucked ass for me as a kid? Dark. The Halloween episode is the only episode that I still kinda remember from back in the day. Those two shows also have one thing in common, so let me shortly rant a little bit before I get to the main topic. Both shows had a character that existed purely to torture me with the existence of the name so my friends could tease me with it. SpongeBob had Patrick, the dumbest idiot alive, even though sometimes he did say some really smart things. Yeah, my name is also Patrick. A name that can be a bit annoying because people will always ask you, do you want to be called Patrick or Patrick? Or maybe only Germans do that because Patrick sounds like the German way to say it. I got it asked a lot when having a new teacher and stuff like that. And I always said that I don't mind either and they can choose whatever they want to call me, but they always just went with Patrick, luckily, since I like that one more too. So I should just say that I like that one more too, but I was a shy kid. So they teased me about being a dumb pig starfish, but this role kinda fits me, so I'm fine with it. But Doug has that main girl that Doug has a crush on named Patty or Patty Mayonnaise or Mayonnaise. How is it even a legal name to give to your kid? Patty or Patty is not a real name, or at least it shouldn't be. It just sounds like a nickname, which it became for me, coupled together with the last name of hers. It would be kinda cool to have Mayonnaise or Mayonnaise as my last name, to be honest though. So with that out of the way, it's time to actually talk about what I wanted to talk about, the Halloween Doug episode, because it's the only episode of Doug I remember, and I rewatched it for this year's Halloween, so I could make a dumb video about it. Okay, so a little info, I uploaded this video 5 times with different censorships for the show. I blurred the video, I cut it into more pieces, I blurred it even more. I tried my best to show you the episode. I can't Disney, cut blocks, anything Duck related kinda, except the little clip from Duck Funny and the Paddy clips before this. It's getting blocked in 90% of all countries. If I put in 5 seconds of the show, it will get immediately recognized, and it made me realize, don't fuck with Disney shows. Don't even try to upload anything Disney related ever. If SpongeBob works because Nickelodeon, I guess, but Duck was also Nickelodeon. But the thing is, I've seen people do 6-hour reviews of SpongeBob with 6 hours of SpongeBob footage. That's totally fine. I've seen people react to anime on here. It's totally fine. The 5 seconds of Duck Funny's stupid Halloween episode, too much. At this point, I'm just kind of over it. I tried my hardest to show you a little bit of it. I can't. So enjoy some bubble shooter gameplay. Pretty early on, Doug tells one of the biggest lies I have ever heard from him. He says Halloween is usually his favorite holiday, and I do not believe that at all.
You know, Halloween is usually my most favorite holiday. Free candy, spooky pumpkins and costumes, but this year was a little...
Doug is a pussy, a total wimp, most of the time at least. When you look at him, you totally know he's the type of person who's a total Christmas kid and even sat on Santa's lap at the mall till he was at least 12 years old, probably even still believed in him for way too long. Which isn't a bad thing, you know, I do miss the wonder of Christmas too. The episode itself is about the Bloodstone Manor, an attraction at the amusement park called Funky Town, which even plays the iconic song Funky Town by Lips Inc., which is known for 3 reasons. Either you grew up in the 80s, you know it from Shrek 2, or sadly you have seen someone's Mexican vacation video. It is said that Baron von Heckelhofer fell in love with a woman who fell in love with him after he built her this huge mansion. I don't know the difference between a mansion and manor, but they're probably the same thing, right? But when they entered the house, they fought because Baron supposedly forgot to build a floor instead of the mansion, which makes me think that just because you got a lot of money, it does not mean you also got a lot of brain. But Elon Musky Husky showed us that already. No, it's cursed, and anyone who dares to enter the mansion will disappear. Forever. Till some haunted person just thought, hey, I'm gonna take this mansion and turn it into a haunted house at the amusement park. At first, Doug is a bit too scared to go to the Bloodstone Manor with Skeeter, who told him about it, because, well, like I said, he's a bit of a wuss, but when he imagines how Waze Canyon would deal with the mansion, some Indiana Jones wannabe, even with a very similar theme to the real deal, he gains the courage to totally go there and show everyone how totally not scared he is. He even dresses up like him. How cool, look at Doug's drip, it's insane. Imagine what kind of moves he can do with the jumping rope that he turned into a whip, especially with so much newly gained courage. Now he can surely take on the mansion, even by himself, wouldn't even need his cool skeet friend. He gets caught by his sister in that getup though and becomes a bit embarrassed about it, and also loses all his confidence when she tells him that it's actually pretty damn scary, coupled with the ad on TV. Back in the day, I always thought his sister looks weird, but nowadays, I get it. I really get it nowadays. So now he pissed and shitted his pants so much that instead of going to Funky Town, he just wants to go trick-or-treating, which is for little kids, with Skeeter instead, who dresses up as a spaceship from the video game Space Monks and is a cool as heck outfit in comparison to Doug's $5 store outfit. He can even press a button to do this.
And he's Race Canyon.
I wonder how much that outfit cost. It's probably a lot, or maybe he even built it himself, which would be even cooler. Sadly, for some reason, only a single person appreciates it later on, but it's not even Doug. You would expect at least his best friend Doug to tell him how amazing it looks, but instead he never even mentions it. On the way to the bus, they meet Watcher and his goons, and damn, does he have an annoying voice. Same with his goons. He sounds like a total idiot. And yeah, he's supposed to be an idiot, but I hate it when they give them the stereotypical he's a bully, but he sounds like a nerd voice. In the German dub, he pretty much just sounds normal, which fits it way better. But this is some kind of me problem. I just don't like those type of voices for fictional characters. They make fun of Doug and Skeeter for being little chickens, since they're too afraid of toilet papering the house from their teacher. But to be honest, who even does that? I know it's an American thing, but I don't think it's that annoying to clean up normal toilet paper from a house. Probably, if they actually used toilet paper, then it would be a different story. I like the little chicken dance though. Now Doug on the way to the bus gets his usual mental breakdown that I remember him having in almost every single episode, and he thinks, nah, I really can't do this, Skeeter, I'm sorry, but let's just have fun at home, I guess, eat some candy. I'm no Waze Canyon, I'm just Doug Funny. A simple boy who has zero self-confidence. The world sucks. Even my head has enough of my whining and flies away to be never seen again. Or will it maybe show up again? Till Patty Mayonnaise drives by with her daddy. She calls him daddy, so I can do the same, even though he looks more like an older brother, and says, hey guys, cool costumes. Me myself is going to a costume party, so I dressed up as a furry. Cool, huh? She's the only one who compliments Skeeter's outfit, and I think that's a genuine compliment because she tells Doug that he looks like the spitting image of Waze Canyon minus the head, which she can't be serious about. But Doug believes it and gains newly found confidence, because who wouldn't be full of confidence after their crush compliments them, even in a sarcastic way? Even though Patty is a nice girl, she would never lie to, so I'm being a bit mean, trying to imply that she is lying, so I am a bad person, not her. So now his imagination goes insane and he asks Patty and her daddy if they can take them to Funky Town, and without even waiting for a reply, they just get into the car. At least have the courtesy to wait for a yes or something.
Say, Patty, I don't suppose you and your dad could drop us off at Bloodstone Manor. Gotta cross the threshold of death.
All right! Get yourself to
Then Patty wants him off a bit too much and tells him a story about how two guys got lost and disappeared in Bloodstone Manor, and suddenly Doug's pants smell a bit like you know what. Also, I really don't want to hate too much on the English voices, but Patty sounds like a granny, but it somehow also sounds pretty neat. I kinda like it. Her dad though sounds like some young stud instead of an actual dad. Not like I talk to many dads, but you know how dads normally sound like, right? They do not sound like this. But if anyone's dad sounds like this, maybe you can give me an address for no reason at all. I'm not into DILFs.
When they were testing it, 2 workers rode in, but the only thing that came out were their shoes.
Daddy, stop!
Well, you
Ooh, time is running out. The park is gonna close in 50 minutes, and boom, Watcher is here too, Sunny, and oh no, time is up. But we still had 50 minutes, this isn't fair. Especially with that host being so arrogant about it. There's only one way to show him who's the actual boss here, by just entering it anyways. Also, Sunny, everyone else that was in the line just magically disappeared in a matter of seconds. Poof. Everyone gone. I wish I would be gone. Shouldn't it have made them a bit worried? And why isn't the door locked? That's some pretty bad security they got. Someone could enter it and get lost and really die and get sued, so the park has to close. I love trespassing actually, by the way. In a good old cartoon fashion, the bully who's normally super cool gets scared first and turns out to be a fuzzy pants. So he's all giddy and shadowy, while Doug is more like, heck, what's the worst that can happen? Like, there surely isn't a real hole full of spikes that would murder anyone that falls into it, right? Because if that happens, then people would die. And dying isn't good because then the CEO of the park can't be paid because of all the lawsuits. So we survived the first web and have crossed the threshold of death. Even though, why is this guy still working? He should just tell him to get the fuck out. It's the end of the day for him. He worked all day long. Let him have his break. But to be honest, if I worked at a park like this, I would probably also do this since it's fun. Fucking with the guests. In, you know, most likely. Unless you're in one of those huge mascot outfits during the summer. But there's people with a sweat king that would love that too. There's always someone out there that perfectly fits into any job. Unlike me, who doesn't fit into any job. Yay, I love dinner, even though these chairs do not look comfy at all. Nothing's more important than being comfy when eating. So you need a good chair, something good to watch, or having someone else eat with you instead. And also good food. Sadly, Doug and Skeeter have to eat with Watcher at the same table, so you already know that it won't be any tasty food. Yeah, those are not very tasty looking meatballs, unless you're American maybe. Luckily, they don't gotta eat them since the chairs just give them a tight hug and slide them down into a roller coaster. Yippee. So I also have to take back my earlier statement that the chairs are not comfy, because I really wish I had chairs that can tie me up and hug me, because the last hug I have gotten is way too long ago. Make sure to give your friends and family lots of hugs whenever you can. It's not embarrassing and also not gay, even if you make out with your bros doing it, like your bros, not your real bros if you got some. An important difference. So, they're having tons of fun on the roller coaster, except for Watcher again, who apparently does not enjoy roller coasters, which makes him a dummy, because I love them. They reach the end of the road because the electricity went off, but somehow only for the roller coaster and animatronics, not for the lightning though. I would think they turn everything off because that shit is mighty expensive. Always make sure to turn off everything, or else your bill is gonna be high. Yes, that includes the power outlets that you can turn on and off. Turn them off when going to bed. Do it for the environment, so we can stop climate change. Luckily, I will be long gone when shit really hits the fan, but enough Doomer talk. Watcher stays behind while Dougie and Skeety go find a way to turn the electricity back on, and they find it because Skeeter is a genius who can randomly press buttons that just turn on everything again. Not the only thing he turns on. The roller coaster works again, so it's time to get out of here, but what's that? Watcher's boots? And him screaming, help me? Oh no, Watcher's gonna die. Actually a good thing, yay. Let's just use the roller coaster to get out of here, but sadly Doug has empathy and won't leave anyone behind, even if it's a person he does not like. He's a bigger man than I am. I would have just left because my parents would have tried to murder me if I came back home so late, especially in the age of having no phones, to tell them that I'm gonna be home soon or later than usual. Also, do not remember what kind of parents Doug has. I think Skeeter's parents were pretty chill, which turned out to be wrong when I checked the Disney fandom wiki, and the trivia section of Joey Valentine, Skeeter's dad, says Joey may actually have dementia, judging by his short temper and short-term memory loss. So yeah, I guess that kinda sucks for Skeeter and especially his dad. I hope, Joe, that your dementia is not that bad. Now both of them are trying to find water and fall down a hole because they thought this is just gonna be a fake hole too, right? Like in the entrance hole, but this one is an actual real hole. Amazing, just like mine. Even though I have multiple ones, like nose holes or holes in my ears and all that, they're not stretched out like this big hole though. I'm pretty sure they could sue for this. This isn't safe at all. Luckily they got nets that catch people who fall into this hole, and they work even better than the ones in China. Down the hole is a room where all kinds of animatronics, no, don't make a joke about Freddy, don't do it, and other stuff are getting made with a big sarcophagus too, for some reason, despite there being nothing related to Egypt so far. I guess normally there should be a mummy coming out of it, but here it's actually the green-hooded man who was taking a nice little nap and Doug and Skeeter woke him up, so obviously he's pissed because of that and not the trespassing. I'm a grumpy person too when I get waken up against my own will. Which goes for most people. It's an actual superpower if you can wake up without getting grumpy when it's not time to wake up yet. Like your parents waking you up at 9 AM in the morning to tell you gotta eat breakfast together, even though they know you stood up till 3 AM playing video games since it's the weekend, and then they ask, what's wrong honey? Why so grumpy today, hee hee? But before they can leave, Doug sees himself in a big mirror and thinks, no, I can't stay as a chicken for all of my life. I gotta save Roger, even if all of this character development goes down the drain in the next episode already, and I will be the usual timid dog again. I gotta become the Chad in this episode at least. Race Canyon would not approve of me, so I gotta do it. Doug, you don't need a fictional man's approval. You can be who you want to be. It's okay to be a timid and shy person. Nothing's wrong with that. Or maybe I'm just saying that since I'm that way too and don't want to change. Or I'm too afraid of changing. And it pays off. The green-hooded man shows them the way down to the hidden production camera room so they catch Roger and his goons while they're preparing for their impractical joke. What an impractical joker. That show should pay me for this advertisement, but I'm not sponsored. I just like that show, so I wanted to make a joke with it despite it not fitting. The thing is, how did Roger's goons get into here? They don't have phones or anything like that. How did Roger do it? Can he use telepathy and send his thoughts to them? Or what if I'm looking too deeply into it and he's just the way cartoons work, without having a need to always look into everything to call it a plot hole? I don't want to be called CinemaSins after all, so he can just do it. The goons are just here because they can. There doesn't need to be a reason. But the Green Goblin got better plans. Also, it's kind of weird how it's not even unusual to be green in Doug's world. Skeeter is pretty green, same with Roger. In our real world, it would be weird to see a green person, and I guess that's why he would be scary. But here it should be normal. Why not make him blood red or something, even though some people would have that color too, I guess. So now he wants to turn the tables on Roger and scare the heck out of him together with Doug and Skeeter. And that's what they do, pretending that they died and are now gonna haunt Roger and his goons for the rest of their lives. And to be honest, that would indeed be very scary. I wouldn't mind it if it was coming from a hot twink or a cute woman, but being haunted by Doug? I would rather die. Skeeter is okay though. He would be fun to hang out with. And just like that, they run away with their pants full of poopy, and Doug and Skeeter had the fun of their life, together with the mysterious green man who even escorts them out of the park. But who was he really? He's even nice enough to somehow give Doug his hat back that he lost earlier. However that works. Or maybe we know exactly how it works, because it turns out the green man was Baron von Heckelhofer. At least that's what he says, when he turns into a tornado and disappears, leaving Doug and Skeeter running home with their pants also full of poopies now. I think I shot in my pants too. And that was it. Somehow when I was watching it, it didn't really feel like 20 minutes have passed, but that it was way shorter, which is a compliment in my eyes. I didn't have the most fun I ever had with a show, but it went by in a flash, which means I had my fun with it. Maybe I should watch more Doug episodes when I got nothing better to do. Maybe I will find an actual appreciation for it nowadays, while I didn't really enjoy it as a kid. Was it scary? Nah. But what cartoon episode is actually scary? I can't think of a single one, unless we count Nosferatu in SpongeBob, which I wouldn't count, because Nosferatu wasn't a comic character, and that fucker turned the lights back on. But if you know any scary cartoon episodes, maybe you can tell me about them in the comments. After you leave a like or even a subscription if you enjoyed the video. I hate saying this, I should go back to not asking for a like. I also kinda wanted to put in a jump scare at the end of the video, but I would feel bad because it would be kinda mean to actually hurt someone who watched all of this. So instead I'm just gonna thank you for watching. Thanks.